to you guys. I don't know what the fuck happened. All I know is I looked over and OBS had stopped streaming. And I mean, in order to stop streaming, you have to push the stop stream button and the, are you sure you really want to stop streaming? Yes. I did none of that. I think there's a possibility that the program I was trying to use, which was the Stream Copilot for OBS, because I wasn't trying the Pro, I was just trying because, fucking me, I didn't realize that apparently it's got time limits. I mean, I get a time limit so that, for using the program, but one, it should be, visible somewhere when you go to do it, or at the very least, be, have a warning and, just stop the fucking program you're using. Don't stop every fucking thing. Put a little thing that's like, hey, you've reached the end of your little demo time. Do you want to stop streaming? No. Just close the goddamn program. But anyway, that's how things are going. So we're back. As I don't know what the hell happened, but something did, to where it all went weird. Oh no. And now everything's completely fucky. Go back. Go back. Huh. All right, so that's not gonna work, right? That's not what I want. Okay, yes, man. What? No, channel? How the fuck do I go to my channel? Okay. Oh, the joys of live streaming, folks. Oh, ain't it just fun? No, and since we had to restart the stream on YouTube, no, I don't want to do that. And then copy that, and just shit. That's not gonna work. Boop. Okay. Live. That's it. Go live. Okay, and there's like a delay. Shouldn't be, but it shouldn't be a lot, actually. Okay, so why is my chat not popping up on YouTube? I don't know. Doop. Let's try this again. Let's only reply to YouTube. Alright, what the hell? And I do apologize to Twitch and Mixer for the chat spam. But it seems that there's something just a little wonky. And YouTube is apparently not wanting to hang on, I'm gonna try something here. Hello. Let's try this one more time. Oh, I see the problem. I see. I see the problem. Dad, get out. I'm talking to the cat. It's been shitty. There's that. Then that. So now it should appear on everybody's thing. Maybe. Okay, well, aside from that, everything else looks like it's going fine. So, we'll just jump back in here into the game. Hopefully. Take another sip of tea. Oh, well, that's interesting. Too bad I don't have a team. And I'd like to take this time to remind everyone. Well, I'd like to say thank you for stopping by the stream. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for understanding the issues with live streaming. And thanks for sticking around. I do greatly appreciate it. Much big appreciate to all of you. Also, I'd like to take this time to remind everybody, if you like the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the notification button so you don't miss any. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube, because I'm less than 4, well, I am 4, okay, well, let's say less than 5 away from being able to get my custom URL. And over on Twitch, if you would please go follow me over there as well, I am I am about 20 away from being able to apply for affiliate. As far as followers, I have to work on the viewers, but once I have the followers, the viewers are a little easier. And also, while we're joining and following stuff, make sure you follow me over on Twitter, because that is the place that you will definitely, oh shit, get notified. And as I said that, I forgot to tweet. But luckily, it's set up to auto-tweet when I go live, so it should still do that, whether I forget or not. I am bad at social media. I admit that. I'm trying to get better. I'm getting better. I don't know. Anyway. Oh shit. Oh, major shit. Level 47. What the fuck? Where did I see level 47? Shit. Oh, fuck me. What? Oh, hell no. What the fuck, Bethesda? Okay, well, at least they tell you when the shit's known, but not letting you pick any more up? I mean, if I want to be fucking over encumbered, then by God, let me be fucking over encumbered. Huh. I'm not a fan of this. So what do we have? Powder better juice. Sure. Oh, got a fire-capped tasty souffle. Don't need the food right this second, so we will drink. No. It's a little overkill, I think. There we go. Alright, well, if they give my character a maximum weight, then they better have upped the goddamn storage. My stash box? They better have given me unlimited storage in that then. I mean, this is like a game-breaking... Oh, when the hell did this happen? I don't know. And I mean, honestly, there's no point in me going to loot shit if oh, fuck. Oh shit, I wasn't ducked. God damn it. That's why I didn't do the damage it was supposed to. In ass. Hole. I can't even pick up any fucking ammo. This is horseshit, Bethesda. I'm calling it right now. This is fucking horseshit. I mean, if I want to be fucking over encumbered and carry, you know, 5,000 pounds, 6,000 pounds of shit, or whatever the fucking unit of measurement is, then by God, that's my fucking choice. That is how I choose to play the game. Oh, I don't like that sound. So am I going to be able to use any of the workbenches then? Because if they're pulling this bullshit, not even letting you pick up any fucking ammo. Nice. Got him! Uh-oh. I'm cautioned. I don't know what from. Alright, let's see. Can I cook something? Oh, there we are. An asshole. Right in the nuts. Ah, shit. Oh, fuck. Shit. Oh, that's not good. Oh, fuck, I missed. Back the fuck up. Quad shot. You know what? Oh, nope, wrong one. You did. Oh, shit, you're not, though. Oh, fuck, level 68. Oh, you moved. Where the fuck is shooting? Okay.
Attention citizens, nuclear strike imminent. Please exit the area at your earliest convenience. Thank you for your cooperation.
This is bullshit. So I can't pick up any more ammo, I can't pick up anything at all. I was doing something, I forgot what I was gonna do. I was like, oh. Checking my rads, not even 100. Oh wait, I've got blackberry juice. Oh, I need to start taking those. Oh yeah, I was gonna try to cook something. Not that I have anything to cook necessarily. Oh, I'll just get razor green soup. Okay, so I can't even... I'm fucking stuck. Oh, there we go. So you can't even craft anything if you're over encumbered. I am calling 100,000% horse shit. Okay. That's the favorites wheel. I didn't know we had that. Just being honest. So can I fucking repair anything? Oh, hello. Oh, shit. Oh, fucking hell. Alright, fuck you. Okay, so I can scrap stuff. Can we repair stuff? No fucking clue. Let's see. No, because I don't have the shit and I can't pick it up. There's a door right here, wasn't there? No, there wasn't. Oh, damn it. What can we make? Okay. Marksman's hardened sniper rifle. Oh yeah, I'll come back to that one. Modify. Oh shit. Okay. Well, that sucks. What was it I was doing? I was like, we need to repair some stuff, and I'm like, what do we need to repair? I don't know. Apparently we can't repair anything though. So never fucking mind. Oh, come on, fucking hell. So if I complete a quest now, is it just gonna tell me I can't carry anything and I'm not getting anything for it? If that's the case, that's bullshit. Oh, there we are. Oh, nice. Right in the head. Oh, there he is. Into first. Up the head. Hey, Super Vault Boy, how are you doing tonight? Sorry, I just saw it. It just popped up. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? I am level... What level am I? Jesus, I don't even know. I am level 31. And this new patch that came out, I am not thrilled with. I mean, I like how it gives you the... if you know a recipe already, it tells you you know it. But then it fucks you over on carry weight. Like, literally, I cannot pick up anything else because it says, right there, it says, I am at 2052, which is over max. And if I try to pick anything else up, max weight limit reached, you cannot pick up any more items. So, yeah. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good. So, I mean, if Bethesda is trying to kill Fallout 76, this is the way to do it. I mean, you fuck people. I mean, this is a game about looting. Looting and survival. And if you have a camp that you can go to whenever and drop shit off, then you go loot, you take your shit back to camp, you drop it all off, and your camp is where you go to keep all your shit. But now, it's like they had a limit of 600, whatever the weight unit is, which is stupid because it's stationary. You don't have to carry it. And then you could be over encumbered if you wanted to, by however damn much you wanted to. And it didn't, I mean, it slowed you way the hell down. But I always want to be that that didn't bother me. What bothers me is not being able to carry anything else because he said, you're over encumbered. I'm like, I don't care if I'm over encumbered. I can't even take a goddamn scalpel. Oh, Jesus fucking hell. Who it is? Oh, it's fucking turret. Okay, turret. What else we got? I don't know if there's anything else. I discovered the ammo dump. See, I can't even pick up any more ammo. Can't pick up ammo, can't pick up anything that I need to fix anything. I can't scrap anything. I mean, I can scrap stuff, but... Oh, please let me get this. Okay, so I got power armor. Still can't put anything else up though. Frank, you're not gonna believe this. There's a working suit of power armor right in Jesus, I cannot words today. I can words, I swear. I swear a lot. Okay, let's try this again. Frank, you're not gonna believe this. There's a working suit of power armor in the Monanga. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to say. Fuck it. Anyway, in the goddamn power plant. It's out of juice, but if I can get my hands on a fusion core, I'll walk it back here myself. I think Jan mentioned she picked up a core somewhere. I just need to come up with a convincing reason why we need it. Can't let anyone know about the armor until it's in our loving care. Carol. And I can't take it because I'm over encumbered. Or I reached my max limit. It's not even that I'm over encumbered. It's that I reached my max limit for some fucking reason. And I can't take any of this because they're shitheads. Now, the question is, can I get out of the power armor and recall it to my inventory? I'm going to try. If I can hold the right button. Well, that works. Jesus Christ. I am calling absolute horse shit on this. Because again, if I want to be fucking over encumbered, that's my goddamn business. That's the way I want to play the game. If I don't care if I'm slow as fuck, then that's how I want to. That's how I play the game, and that's that. So where are we going? Oh, we're going over here. Have we got there yet? Yeah, we already found that. Oh yeah, we were headed south. Or were we going to the Red Rocket? Where the frick is my camp? Okay, I guess we will kind of head back toward the camp and just see if we've been completely fucked again. So, god damn it. And it costs 25 caps to move my goddamn camp. That's bullshit. Alright. This way we go. And I probably just got my stream claimed. How's the water? Is it still hot? Hot, 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 hot. Yes, it is. I'm gonna pour another cup of water. You know what? I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna have another thing. And then I'm gonna have to go heat my water. But, and I'll take the mint tea bag out. Because mint and this other thing I don't think is going to go well together. Excuse me for just a second. While I gotta do this. I'm doing this for my throat because it's not feeling super. It's like there's a big huge lump of like snot or something in the back and it kind of hurts to swallow. And the thing is, it's like, okay, for any of you that do not know, I have COPD, and which, you know, I'm disabled. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I can't really do. I can still do like stuff normal people do. However, oh shit, I dropped that, or I missed a couple of it. It just takes me a little bit longer to do certain stuff. So like, I can still go to the gym. I can still work out a bit. I can't work out as hard as other people, and I have to pay close attention to my breathing and everything, because if I don't, I could pass the fuck out. or whatever. But COPD is it stands for chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which means I have a recurring or chronic. Basically, generally it's classified with like asthma and emphysema, or chronic bronchitis and emphysema. But my particular mixture is asthma and chronic bronchitis. So, that water was not really hot enough. Anyway, hang on just a second. I gotta mute my mic. Because I had to blow my nose and I didn't want to blow everybody else out in the audience. Or I didn't want to blow all the viewers. Ears out. But anyway, so I have COPD, which makes doing things more challenging. I mean, I've had COPD since I was 10. And I did not let it stop me from doing whatever I did. It's like I still went out and played. I rode my bike. As a matter of fact, when I was 13, I lived in a place called Champaign, Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and I rode a lot. We lived in a trailer park, which isn't as bad as most people think, because we were actually buying the mobile home. Technically it was a mobile home park, and we had we were buying it. So, it's not like we were just, and it was not bad. It was pretty nice. It kept us warm in the winter, cool in the summer. And I mean, it was a nice area. It was a not exactly gated community, but there was only really one way in. Well, I don't know, there's two ways in, because there was kind of a back way in. But... Ooh, frogs. Anyway, as I was saying, shit. I don't know why I'm shooting him, I can't do anything. He just face palmed me. Did you see that shit? Face palm that, you little shithead. Anyway, I mean, like I said, it was a nice area. I mean, it had a pool. Most of the, all the mobile homes were nice. I mean, there was like double wides, triple wides. There were a few single wides. We had one of those, and because basically what they encouraged was for people to like buy a single, or get into buying a single wide, and then when other because they almost always had a couple of 2 or 3 single wides open. I mean, they had spaces for a lot more. It's like if somebody already owned one, they had lots that they could put them at. But they encourage people to, like, as a starter, like a starter home, kind of buy a single wide, and then after a year or two, upgrade to a double wide or triple wide. Well, double wide, and then like a year or two after that, upgrade to a triple wide. Because eventually you would own it, and then a lot of people, once they owned it outright, they would have it moved to a place, to another place. And then it was theirs. But then after after it was theirs, all they had to pay was lot rent. So it was like, and if they had paid it off completely, the lot rent was extremely cheap. So you know, and it was, I think, like, water was furnished. You had to pay for power, but water was included, and cable was not included. However, I may or may not have, hooked up a bunch of people with free cable. I gotta keep in mind, I was like 12 when we moved in there, but I had figured out how to get free cable. And if anybody's listening, you know, if anybody, like, any authorities listening, no, I didn't really, it's just a story. Wink, wink. But anyway, I mean, needless to say, I mean, I was... Okay, so you guys know where I'm coming from. I mean, I don't mind talking about my past a bit. And I'm not trying to brag or anything. It just kind of is going to sound like it. I have always been on the upper side of the intelligence scale. I don't know exactly where. I mean, I was tested. They never gave me the results, so I don't know. I guess they didn't want me to become a conceited prick. Which, I mean, it happens to a lot of people. Oh, hey, I'm fucking smart. You know, whatever. However, I don't have to have the results to know that, you know, because when I was, well, when I was in kindergarten and I learned how to read, I mean, I'd learned how to read before that, but in kindergarten, I was reading, like, at a 6th grade level. In 1st grade, I was reading Robert Heinlein and Isaac Asimov and Piers Anthony. One of the first serious books I ever read was Robert Heinlein. It was a book called The Day After Tomorrow. The next book I read was called The Cat Who Walks Through Walls. And this is all while I was in 1st grade. I mean, everybody else is over there reading shit like, you know, Fun with Dick and Jane. You know the book I'm talking about. It's like, this is Spot. Spot is a dog. See Spot run. That kind of shit. That's what they were trying to get me to read. And I was reading Robert Heinlein, Piers Anthony, and Isaac Asimov in 1st grade. So needless to say, I was kind of bored in class. And I would just kind of, you know, do shit, just, you know, because basically I already knew it and I was bored. So, I mean, I didn't disrupt the class, I just didn't necessarily do everything I was supposed to. So, they had the bright idea. They wanted me to skip a grade. And I was like, no, because I mean, my friends were there, and I had, you know, I mean, we were doing like the school play and stuff, and I mean, I had, you know, I had plans, and there was, you know, there was shit going on, and if I had skipped a grade, all that would have kind of, you know, been different. So you're like, no, let's not do it, because, you know, I mean, I was already the youngest in all my classes because of where my birthday falls. My birthday falls September 7th, which is right at the very, very edge. I mean, I had to get like a special, what do you call it? Variance, excuse, permission, whatever you call it. I had to get a special paper that allowed me to go to school and, you know, go to kindergarten when I was 5. I mean, technically I started when I was 4. I was like, I mean, my birthday was like, you know, usually 2 or 3 weeks after school started, but, you know, I mean, so I was, you know, I was 5 shortly after school started. However, most everybody else in the class, well, okay, everybody else in the class, to be honest, they were already 5, and most of them were turning 6 during the course of the school year. So, oh, fuck me, that's what this is. Alright, we'll go this way. Fuck you, liberators. I don't want to deal with your shit. I think it may have been a variance. I don't know. Anyway, whatever it was. I had to get one so I could go to school. And then, you know, there's like the next day, they were talking about, you know, having me skip a grade. And again, I was already the youngest kid in all my classes, or in school, really. And my parents were like, you know, we don't want him to get picked on, or, you know, and plus, you know, he's made some friends in the class and everything, so we'll just keep him there. I mean, they asked me if I wanted to. I was like, no, not really, because honestly, it was more work. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Alexa, a reminder to take my medication. And so anyway, so as I was saying, you know, I was already like the youngest kid in all my classes. So I was, like I said, not that I was struggling to keep up. But because here's the thing, when I would go visit my grandparents, my grandmother had like all kinds of really cool shit in the basement. I mean, she had, I mean, cause like their basement was like actual, like a whole nother house, basically. It was a finished basement. It was basically a whole nother house. Cause they had, it had like 3 rooms. It had an extra bedroom. It had the laundry room. I mean, it was pretty fucking cool. Like I said, it was finished. It had a concrete floor, but it was carpeted. You had wood paneling on the walls, which was really cool. It had a few windows, and it was, you know, like I said, there was like a, I don't know what you'd call it. But I mean, it was a room that had, it had an extra refrigerator. It had like storage space, like the closets and stuff, or some closets. It had, I mean, it was a large room. And then there was a doorway to the right that led to like the utility room kind of thing. There was a shower, there was the washer and dryer, there was a big huge deep freeze, and, you know, my granddad's workbench with all his tools and everything that I played with. And when I was 3 or 4, I mean, he let me play with his tools, you know, because I was always one of those curious types of kids. So one day while he's at work, he worked at Caterpillar, and he was he was an inspector, which basically meant that after they built the big bulldozers or trucks or whatever equipment it was they built, he would go and drive them on their little test range they have, their test lot. And so he drove bulldozers, cranes, dump trucks, all this stuff, and because he made sure it was all working properly. He had some really fucking awesome tools, because he had to check the tolerances and stuff. He had to make sure everything was just right, because he was an inspector. If it wasn't just right, he sent it back and they fixed. They had to fix it, or take it completely apart and use the parts on a different one, and basically start the hell over. He didn't do that very often, but there were a few times where he had to. But we're getting off on a different thing here. So anyway, back in the bedroom that was in the basement, which was after you went through the big room where the utility room and all that. Anyway, back to what I was saying about with what I did when I was 3, almost 4. I was down there playing with my granddad's tools. He was at work inspecting the big equipment, and god damn it. So while he was at work, I got down there. I was playing around. Like I said, I was playing around with the tools, and he had a drill. And it was one of those, it was a little stubby electric drill. That was made in probably the 30s. It was old. And my granddad had it probably, he bought it brand new. It had one of the those really old electric irons that have the fabric cords and everything. It had a cord like that. So, it was an old drill when, at that point in time, it was already an old drill. So, like I said, being the curious little shit that I was, and having free reign to do whatever I wanted, really, because my grandparents were always if I was curious about something, or if I wanted to know something, it's sure, we'll teach you, we'll tell you, whatever. They basically fed the beast. They fed the knowledge beast. So, and my grandmother, not only, she was an inventor and shit. So it's back in was it World War II, I think it was. She actually she worked at the one of the airplane places where they were making airplanes and stuff. She invented a tool to work on the instrument clusters one-handed, because everything was so tight and everything and hard to get to. She invented the tool to work on those that made it so much easier for everybody. So, it's one of those, looking back on it, it's I'm going to say that most likely, I come from a family, my grandparents were frickin' geniuses and shit too. So, it's in my genes, I guess. So, anyway, much like the game, I get sidetracked easily. Back to the story. So my granddad's at work. He's inspecting the heavy equipment and stuff. Not really, not knowing or really caring what the hell I'm doing at the house, because, It's like, you know, he's like, well, there's nothing they can really tear up. Little did he know that on this one day, I decided that I wanted to see what made the drill work. So I got the screwdriver and I decided to take the drill apart. And keep in mind that, you know, I did this probably about, I mean, it was after lunch. And it was like after lunch, and I think it was like after nap time. So that means it was probably about, being after lunch is probably about, I'm going to say it was probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I decided to do this. It may have been closer to 3. Again, I was, you know, 3, almost 4, maybe. I didn't really pay attention. I mean, I knew time-ish. I don't remember if I could actually tell time on a clock. I want to say I could, sort of. Because otherwise I wouldn't have known, because I mean, it's like, or maybe it's like, I didn't really know the time, but I knew like what the hands of the clock meant. It's like, when they were at this position, it was, you know, my granddad to be home in, you know, in a little, you know, in an hour, in a couple hours or whatever, you know, so, I mean, yeah, I mean, I've known the numbers, but I knew the meaning. So, like I said, it was probably about between 2 and 3, and he got home about 5:30, because I think he got he got home about 4 or 5, because he went in like at the ass crack of dawn, and you know, he worked like the early shift, which like started, I mean, he left the house like, I think like at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So he worked like 5 to 2, 5 to 1. I don't know. No, 5 to 4. Well, he got like an hour lunch. I remember that because me and grandmother went several times while he was working and had lunch with him, and he had no. Of course, being the boss, you know, or like one of the bosses. I mean, he was like, I mean, he had bosses above him, but as far as other people in the plant were concerned, he was like their boss. So anyway, I mean, he may have taken longer than, you know, he was normally allowed or allocated, but again, he was the boss, so, you know, he was going to say anything. Anyway, back to my story. So I got a hold of the drill. I found a screwdriver, and it was a Phillips. And keep in mind that the drill, and it was like most things from that time, they were made to be repaired, not just replaced. They were meant to be, they were made to be fixed and used for a long time. So I found a screwdriver, and I was like, hey, I wonder what makes this work. So I took the drill apart. I mean, apart. Down to the gears and, you know, everything. And my granddad got home, and it was laid out on the workbench. And he was kind of like, what in the hell did you do? I mean, he didn't say what now because, you know, I was, you know, okay. But, you know, he was like, did you take it? I mean, he was not exactly thrilled that his drill, because, I mean, it was not a cheap drill when he bought it. Because he was one of those people, if you're going to buy something, make sure, you know, buy quality, make sure it's going to last. because it's like an investment. It's not just, you know, something cheap or whatever, just to, you know, because it's, you know, you didn't just get it to get it. So needless to say, he was not super happy about that. But he was like, I mean, you could tell he was not that was not a pleasant surprise to come in and see his drill in like 100 parts. So he was like, okay, I'm going to go take a shower and you're going to put that back together. I'm like, okay. He's like, you can't put it back together, right? I'm like, yeah. And I put it back together. I mean, first I was like, I didn't do anything. And he's like, you're standing there with the screwdriver in your hand, you know, and you didn't do anything. Bullshit. He's like, you're gonna fix it. I'm like, okay. Because, I mean, that's like what my granted, they, you know, it was one of those, like a teaching moment, you know, if nothing else. It's like, you don't take shit apart if you can't fix it. So, you know. So if I couldn't put it back, I was going to learn how to, you know, fix it. I mean, because, like I say, it was one of those it had an old like a brush motor and stuff in it. I mean, and it was like a single speed drill. It's like it went or it didn't. Yeah, it was either on or off. It went or it didn't. There was no variable speed. It was just stop or go. And anyway, as I was saying, so I took it apart, and he was not real happy. But I put it back together, and I did not have any leftover parts. And he was kind of, let's say, cautious when he plugged it in to test it. But everything worked fine. I didn't blow anything up. I didn't short anything out. So, you know, all in all, you know, no harm, no foul. But, you know, shit. So anyway, it was just like, you know, made a rule, don't take my basically, don't take my shit apart, was the new rule. He still didn't care if I, you know, if I like used it to, you know, build something or whatever, or make something. Just don't take his shit apart. Basically, is what it. God damn it. Is the rule that he made after that. So, anyway, back to what I was saying before, you know, before I got sidetracked on that journey of, you know, taking apart my granddad's drill and putting it back together. I just kind of give, you know, you guys backstory of the kind of, you know. Anyway, so they had, my grandmother had in that spare bedroom, she had like all kinds of cool shit and stuff. Like, she had like bongos and, you know, all kinds of musical instrument things. But she also had all kinds of like history books and stuff like that. So I'd get in there and just looking at stuff, and you know, I started reading the history books and like the Declaration of Independence and all that other good shit. And so so like, this is stuff, and my grandmother was like, you know, if you're gonna learn it, you're gonna learn it. and I'm going to test you on it. I was like, okay. So she would. It's like, she would fucking quiz me on this shit. And if I got it wrong, I had to go back and study it more. Which, you know, well, fuck. Which was, you know, not a super fun, you know, thing. Because I didn't really like studying much. Still don't, but, you know. Can I shoot you yet? No. God damn it. So anyway. Basically, when I got to school, I knew a lot more than they really, I guess, bargained for. And so, consequently, I was kind of bored in school. Which was why when I was in first grade, or yeah, when I started first grade, they were like, you know, well, let's have him skip a grade. And then they're like, no, let's not. And I was like, no, let's not, because, oh my god, it's more power armor. Will it let me? I don't know. So anyway, yeah, it was one of those fun things that, ooh, damn it, I can't take anything, god damn it. I have to remember this place so I can come back and will it let me? No, shit, god damn it. Oh. No, it won't let me do that either. Yeah, never mind. So anyway, like I was saying, when I was, you know, would take, like, you know, Asimov, Heinlein, Piers, anything to school in first grade, needless to say, they were a little concerned, creeped out, I don't know. You know, most other kids were struggling, like I said, with, like, you know, fun with Dick and Jane. And here I am, you know, like, reading Isaac Asimov and, you know, the likes of E. Doc Smith, you know, stuff like that. So, they were a little concerned, shall we say. And honestly, I think it did kind of creep them out a bit because, honestly, there were a lot of teachers that I don't think read those kinds of books. But anyway, where am I going now? Where's I going with this story? We are, oh, we're up here. Okay, so we want to try to get that. It's fairly close. Or do we just want to head this way? I mean, that's going to lead to that, and then back. I mean, well, we got to go that way anyway. You know, those aren't really showing up, so. Damn it, that's out of the way. Yeah, screw it, we're gonna go, hell. Oop, oop, shit, fuck. So, anyway, like I was saying, So it's like, you know, when I was, you know, 5, 6, 7, I was learning about, like, I mean, I was, and always have been, like, a knowledge sponge. But yeah, I was learning about the Declaration of Independence, U.S. history, world history. Yeah, I was learning the presidents, which, and I'll be honest, I have forgotten more. I have learned more stuff that I have forgotten, to be honest, than, because it's like one of those things, even if you learn it, if you don't use it, you forget it. So, it's one of those, yeah. Yeah, let's go get this point real quick, maybe. Yeah, we're right there. Then we'll go back and get the other thing. But like I said, it's... It's one of those things, I've always known I was on, like, the upper end of the scale of intelligence. And like I said, I was tested. They declined to let me know what the results were. I guess they thought I would become an arrogant prick. I mean, because that does tend to happen to people that are, you know... It becomes a lot of people have like a superiority complex. I don't, but I mean, I've seen it happen. It's like, oh, you know, they think they're smarter than everybody else, and it's like, well, fucker, you're really not, but we'll let you think so. But anyway, to get back to what I was saying, was, you know, they tried to, you know, I was always the youngest in my class. And they tried, like I said, one of the main reasons that they didn't want me to skip a grade was because, I mean, I was already the youngest in my class. You know, but by about, you know, a month in or so, I was about the same age as most of the people. I mean, you know, there were some people that would be older, and, you know, I would still be younger than some of them. But it was always, you know, it wasn't that big of an age difference. I mean, it was a few months. Of course, then by the next year, I was again the youngest person in class. But, you know, whatever. But if I'd skipped a grade, I would have been like 2 years younger than everybody in the class. And I'll just say, when you're, you know, when you're the youngest by most of a year, because I mean, there were some kids, because their birthdays fell later than mine, they had to start when they were 6. They couldn't start when they were 5. They had to wait till they were 6, which really sucked, because basically it was like, you know, they got teased because, you know, people were thinking, oh, well, you got held back a year. It's like, not exactly. Oh, fuck, it's the ants. So it was like, you know, like I said, my parents didn't want me to be, you know, to get made fun of or whatever. Shit. I mean, I get it, I understand. And honestly, I didn't want to hear that either, because, you know, I mean, you're a little kid, you have a hard enough time making friends or whatever. without being labeled, you know, a nerd or a geek or whatever. And trust me, little assholes do. Of course, on the flip side, if you're, you know, if you start school when you're 6, then they label you as like dumb or an idiot or whatever, or retarded because, you know, you didn't, you know, your birthday didn't happen to fall in that magical sweet spot. You know, where most of them, you know, turned 5 over the summer, you know, and were already, you know, first school year. That, you know, because I mean, I had some friends that the other kids, because I mean, their birthday was like December or January. They were 6 when they started because, I mean, they didn't have a whole hell of a lot of choice. And kids, being the dickheads that they are, would make fun of them for, you know, they say, hey, you're retarded, you know, or you held back a year or whatever. You know, it's like, you know, just being little assholes. Oh, blood bug. So, I mean, it's one of those, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Because if, you know, if you do skip a grade, then, you know, people expect more from you. And that's one of the things, it's like, because, you know, when I was, you know, in first grade, it's like, I have never spent more than 2 years in any single school. So it's like in kindergarten, I went to Dr. Howard Elementary School for kindergarten. Then for first grade, because we moved, I went to Westview Elementary School. Shit. And then we moved again. And I went to Robeson Elementary School for second and third grade. And so, you know, I said second and third grade, I went to, Robeson Elementary. And I had to walk. That sucked. Oh, fuck me. And, I mean, I had to walk to, I mean, I had friends to walk with, but, I mean, I still had to walk, and it sucked. Alright, fucker. You know, because we lived almost 2 miles away. Like I said, I had friends to walk with, and there was kind of a shortcut. Well, it won't even let me read a goddamn recipe. So like I said, it was an interesting time. Oh, but yeah, the other thing I was gonna say was, second grade was, second grade, pretty non-eventful. Other than the fact that that is where I developed, oh, son of a bitch. Several, well, my, like, stage fright and, like, anxiety and shit like that. That was where that happened. And I can pinpoint that because, and I will give you guys the story. Again, sidetrack, but, when I was in second grade, this was at Cary Busey Elementary School, we had, it was like the 4th and 5th graders were on one side of the building and the 2nd and 3rd graders were on the other side of the building. I guess there were 1st graders there somewhere too, but it's like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, they were all over on, or 1st and 2nd were over on the one side of the building. 3rd and 4th were over on another side. And then 5th grade, I think, were in their own. No, this was at Robeson Elementary School, 2nd and 3rd grade. Cary Busey, I was 5th grade. But anyway, so 2nd and 3rd grade. 2nd grade, we had these classrooms. And in the classrooms, there were restrooms in the classroom. That's why the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade, or 1st and 2nd grade, were like in their own little hallway because each of those classes had their own little restroom, which was fine. Yeah, it had like little, it had a light switch on the outside with limited indicator light, so you know somebody was in there. And so it's like you go to the restroom. When you come out, you leave the door open and you turn the light off. I mean, everybody did that. Well, one particular day, for some reason, let's read this first. Mists of Autumn Acres, a novel by G.D. Blorwood. The autumn mist swirled over the mountains like a thick swirling mist. Baron von Herbst surveyed the autumn land with the decidedly unmist-like composure of a man more powerful than any other. Intelligent, strong, and liked by all, the Baron remained as humble, or perhaps even more humble. The Baron's only admission of superior ability showed in his quick wit and sharp-tongued missives to these lazy and incompetent administrators, with their mist-filled minds, ever attempting to ruin his great works with their so-called edits. Okay. Baron von Herbst surveyed his lands as the morning mist settled into the misty low parts of the Baron. Baron von Herbst was an idiot and would never have his novel published. Okay. So anyway, no, don't turn off the goddamn radio. So anyway, back to the thing. So 2nd grade, I am going about my business, have to use the restroom. The teacher, can I use the restroom? He's like, yeah, make sure you turn off the light, leave the door open when you come out. I'm like, all right, yeah, because I told everybody that, and we were well into the school year. It was like late September, early October, maybe even November. No, it wasn't quite holiday time yet, so it was still late September, early October. Because everybody was, people were wearing like long sleeve shirts, so it was cool, or getting cool, but it wasn't holiday time yet. So anyway, I was, I'd used the restroom, came out, turned off the light, left the door open. And usually it's like when, more than one person had to go, It was just, okay, when they come out, you go in. However, on this particular day, the teacher decided she wasn't going to believe me when I came out and I turned off the light and I left the door open. And she's like, you left the, you know, and because one of the kids was like, he didn't leave the door open and turn off the light and leave the door open. I'm like, I did. I was over there and I did when I came out. That's how it was. And they're like, no, you didn't. And the teacher was like, go turn off the light and open the door. I'm like, but somebody's in there. And she's like, no, they're not. And I'm like, yeah, they are. So, long story short, too late, I know. One of many long stories that I've been telling. I opened the door, turned off the light, and then realized, along with everybody else, that there was, in fact, as I said, somebody else in the bathroom. They forgot to lock the door. Not my fault. Because, I mean, I knocked on it, like, you know, they always say, knock on the door, make sure there's nobody in there. I knocked on the door, the teacher was like, just open it. And I was like, there's somebody in there. It's like, no, there's not. I'm like, so I opened it, and again, there was somebody in there. And so I got made fun of because I opened the door and turned off the light like I was instructed to by the teacher, and everybody was laughing at me, making fun of me for doing that, including the fucking teacher. And so I went back to my desk and I built like a little fort out of books because I wanted to fucking hide and die. And, you know, and basically because, you know, everybody's laughing at me and making fun of me for, you know, opening the door on this kid. And it's like, I tried to tell the teacher there was somebody in there. But so that is the point, because up until that point, it's like I was in school plays, I was in spelling bees, I was doing all kinds of shit. And after that, I developed stage fright, kind of thing. I mean, to this day, it's like anytime anybody is like, you know, there's a group of people and they say, you know, talk, speak, say something, I freeze out. I can't. Even like at family dinners, if somebody wants me to say grace, I cannot do it. I freeze up. I'm like, no, you do it, because I can't. And to be honest, the fact that I'm streaming, get the hell out of here, cat! Jesus, scared the fuck out of me. It came up and just started pawing at my leg. I'm like, what the fuck? But anyway. I mean, that's the reason, and like I said, honestly, the fact that I am streaming and talking to people on, you know, streaming, and the fact that I go to conventions and stuff and do the stuff that I do. A few years ago, I was not like this. I have been working hard to come out of my shell, or, you know, get over my things, but it has been a long, rough journey. And like I said, but anyway, so that's where, and so it's like after that, it's like I didn't do like spelling bees or anything anymore, because you know, I would be worried that, you know, I'd get up there and if I messed up a word or whatever, people would laugh at me and make fun of me again and think I was stupid or whatever. Which, I mean, you know, that's part of a spelling bee, but, you know. Or this is another reason why I didn't go and play school plays and stuff anymore, is because, you know, being up on stage, I didn't want, you know, I didn't want to have people paying that close attention to me. I mean, even though that most of the stuff I went out for was like, you know, background bits or whatever. I mean, there was a couple times I went and, you know, I was actually like a lead character. I mean, you know, as much of a lead character as you can have in like second grade or first grade or whatever. You know, it's like, well, you know. And I mean, I was like in the school choir, you know, all that. And it's like third grade, I was in nothing. I'm like, no, 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 no. We're not gonna do that. So, you know, and I missed out on a lot because, you know, that the way that things, you know, transpired. But I mean, anyway, getting way off the main part of the story. Quit that, little fucker. You know, when I was in third grade, again, I was still at Robeson Elementary. I was put in a third and fourth grade combined class. I don't know if, you know, I don't know if it was specifically set up for people that were like, well, no, because I don't know anybody else that did the shit. But basically, being in the third and fourth grade combined class, it's like half the class is third grade, half the class is fourth grade. I'm assuming it's because they didn't have a big enough class of either to warrant a whole nother, you know, classroom and teacher. So they're like, okay, well, you know, and space was kind of, I mean, all the classrooms were filled. So, you know, if they didn't have enough, you know, too many kids for one class, not enough for another. You know, so, I mean, I get why they did that. But anyway, my teacher in third and fourth grade, her name was Mrs. Christ. And so, and she was an older teacher, you know, nice old lady kind of teacher. And I liked her. We got along pretty good. But then about 2 or 3 weeks into the school year, something happened to her husband. I don't recall whether he got sick or it was a stroke or something, but she was out because she had to help take care of him. So we had a substitute teacher, and her name was Mrs. Hanson. We didn't exactly get along. I mean, we did, but we didn't. It was like, I liked her, but she seemed to be harder on me than anybody else in the class. But of course, I mean, I will give you an example why. Because me being the smart-ass kind of person that I was, and the bored kind of person that I was, again, because I was reading Robert Heinlein, Isaac Asimov, and Piers Anthony in first grade, spelling was not a problem. Reading was not a problem. So basically, I decided one day, because I was, you know, I guess I was bored. This went on for like 2 weeks before major stuff. I decided to, because on Friday, every Friday we had the spelling test. So the first week I was like, okay, fine, you know, just out of, you know, for shits and giggles, I drew a line down the center of my paper. Left hand was the third grade test that I studied for. Right hand side was the fourth grade test that I didn't study. I mean, honestly, I didn't study for either one of them because, well, I already knew most of them. And so I was just, you know, write them both down. And if I got them, I got them. If I didn't, I didn't, and I didn't really care. Because, like I said, I didn't study, and I was like, yeah. Because I was bored. Because, I mean, they would give, it would be like, they would give the third grade, say, okay, third grade class, your word is simple. And it's like, okay, fourth grade class, your word is hydrogen. I mean, I'm just, spitballing here, because I don't, honestly, I don't know what a fourth grade level word is. I don't know what a third grade level word is. I could be way off on both of those. Or those could now be first grade words. I don't fucking know. But anyway, the point is, so I would write out the, I would say, spell out simple, and then I'd be, okay, hydrogen. And most of the time I got 100% on the third grade, and 99 to 100% on the fourth grade. Like I said, I did this like 2-3 weeks just to kind of, okay, I guess I was kind of showing off or whatever, being a smart ass. I think I was more being a smart ass than showing off. Because, because the teacher was like, only do the words for your classroom and all this stuff, and I'm like, okay. And then, of course, I went ahead and did, and she's like, only do the words for your grade. And I was like, okay. And then I do them anyway. And so she was like the third week this happened, she's like, all right, smart ass. I mean, she didn't actually call me a smart ass, but that was the tone she used. Basically, it was like, okay, smart ass, you want to do the words? You now have twice the classwork. You now have to do and study not only the spelling words, but the comprehension and everything else. I was like, fuck me. I mean, of course, at the time, I didn't say fuck me, because, but that was, the equivalent of the thought that went through my head. Because now I'm like, I have just doubled my fucking schoolwork. And I didn't like doing schoolwork to start with. So here I am, I was just being kind of a smart ass, show off. Because honestly, I thought the words were easy as fuck. And that's what I would do. Like the first week, I did like the ones I thought were easy as hell. And apparently she decided that since I was doing that, then I could do all the rest of the work. So yeah, that was when I started to not like her. And I mean, I still kind of liked her, but she, like I said, she was a lot harder on me than she was anybody else in class. Because, like, if I didn't get the work done or whatever, I got in trouble. Even though it was 100% not work I had to do. But I got graded on it and everything. So, anyway. Hey Frank, that last batch was shit. Can you just stick to the recipe like the rest of us? It's not that hard. I'm gonna go out in the woods and blow some shit up. If this batch is as bad as the last one, you'll be coming with me next time. P.S. What I mean by that is I'm going to blow you up. Fair enough. That's shit. But so like, and at this time, there was, the newspaper, our local paper, ran a, I'm not even gonna bother unlocking that because I can't do anything with it. They had a contest for, I guess a bunch of the businesses in town got together and they were like, hey, we're gonna hold a contest and we want the kids to like draw and come up with a slogan for our business. And then we'll publish the winners in the newspaper. So I was like, okay, I kind of didn't really want to do it. And it was for, they had like, 3rd grade, 4th grade. So, again, I tried to get away with just doing the 3rd grade, and she's like, oh, no. You're going to do both of them. And I was like, God damn. It's like, what the hell have I, why did I have to be a smartass? Or, whatever. Or show off, whatever you want to call it. And, oh, fuck. So, like I said, it was an interesting time. It was difficult-ish. I mean, it wasn't really difficult because, like I said, I could do the work. I knew the stuff. I could do the work. But it was more like I was lazy and didn't want to. Yeah. My teacher didn't buy that shit. And, I mean, she kept pushing me to fucking do it. And I found out later, at the end of the school year, or when my original teacher came back, we had a, kind of a discussion. And anyway, what had happened was, with the advertising contest, basically is what it was, a lot of kids got their stuff published. I was one of them. I had Sears. And my slogan thing, I drew... I mean, honestly, I couldn't draw. I still can't. I'm not artistically inclined. But, like I said, she didn't buy that. She's like, you're going to try it anyway. I'm like, well, fuck, okay. So like I said, I had Sears. I drew like a kind of a crude, like United States outline, Florida, all that stuff, Texas, the whole outline. And I put like little Sears, like little signposts all over the country. And I was like, I think my slogan thing, I mean, this was a long time ago, so I'm like, I'm not 100% what it was. Oh, fuck me, there's no bobblehead. Anyway, it was like, drop into Sears wherever you are, or something like that. Or, if you, for home improvement, drop into Sears anywhere in the country. It was something like that. Like I said, I got my thing published in the paper, and it was, I was kind of proud of that, honestly. And, the substitute teacher, Mrs. Hanson, was like, coming, because she was there with us through, Christmas, through Valentine's, all the holidays and stuff. And I was really kind of starting to like her. Even though she was really... I mean, she was kind of hard on me, and so it was like... It's like, I kind of liked her, but not. If that makes sense. So, because we kind of... There was a bit of friction. Because, I wanted to, goof off, do bare minimum, whatever, and she was like, oh no, you wanted to try this, you're gonna do it. And so, it was like, alrighty then. And like I said, when it was like on her last day or whatever, she was like, saying goodbye to the class and everything, and she, wanted me to stay after. I'm like, oh, what the hell did I do? because, I mean, to be honest, it's not the first time I'd had, like, a detention for something that I had done, or not done, or whatever the case may have been. Usually it was not doing homework or whatever. I mean, I do classwork, I just wouldn't do homework, but... or I didn't, I didn't do something, you know. Usually, I mean, because I didn't, at that time, I didn't get in a lot of fights or anything, so... Or I may have been a smartass, I don't know, something like that. So anyway, you know, she was like... You know, she was like, you know, because, again, I had kind of, you know, gotten to like her a bit, and, you know, not, you know, we started kind of getting along, and she was like, you do realize why I've been so hard on you all year? And I'm like, not really. And she's like, because I was pushing, because I knew you could do this stuff, and I was pushing you to see, so that you would know that you could do it. I was pushing you to better yourself. I'm like, oh. And then so after that, I liked her a lot more. Because it's like, I'd always thought that she hated me, which is why she was doing that. But no, it turned out that, you know, she liked me, and she knew that I could do it. And so she was pushing me to actually do it. And so I'm like, well, that's cool. So like I said, I liked her a lot more after that. But it was, you know, she had to leave, and then it's like the, you know, original teacher came back, and then we didn't get along because, and, you know, even though we did it first, it was like, you know, she'd been gone most of the whole year, and it was like, well, yes, like, I want Miss Hanson back. So, because, I mean, and everybody was kind of that way because, you know, I mean, you can't switch teachers, you know, it's just not cool. So where do we gotta go now? Oh, we gotta go straight over this way. Okay, we can do that. So, anyway, that's the closest to, like, actually skipping a grade I've ever done. You know, because I basically did all of the classwork. I mean, basically, I took 2 classes at one time, basically. I was taking 3rd grade and 4th grade. And the teacher was grading me on both. And Mrs. Hanson graded me on both of them. And she was like, see, I knew you could do it. I'm like, whoa, okay. It's like, it would have been nice to not have all that fucking homework. And apparently she had told my parents about it, and because, you know, I mean, I bitched and complained because, you know, I thought she didn't like me and she was, you know, picking on me or whatever. Turned out she kind of was a little bit, but it was because she knew I could do the work. I mean, she wasn't picking on me just to be mean, which is what I had thought. So, I mean, and so, like, since then she's been like one of my favorite teachers. I've had a couple, but she's been one of them. Because like I said, you know, it's like I wasn't going to enter the contest at all. Because, I mean, it's like, I can't draw. I know I can't draw. And she was like, well, you're going to give it your best shot anyway. I'm like, oh. And then it won like 3rd place or something like that. Because like each company had, you know, people were doing, like, there were multiple people doing, because each school had like a list of the companies and everything. And then each company was picking from each school, like, the winners. So like each school, each grade in each school. So there were multiple people doing multiple advertisements, basically. And so I mean, the fact that, you know, mine was selected to be in the paper, and it was like second or third place, I was like, holy shit. And the teacher's like, see, told you. I'm like, this is a really shitty drawing. Because, like I said, it was kind of a shitty outline of the United States. And then there's like a couple of stick figures in it. And then like the Sears, you know, kind of shitty drawings of Sears signs. Now I was thinking, there's no way in hell they're going to pick this. Apparently they liked my slogan. And that was why they picked the drawing. Because it may not have been the best drawing, but it was one of the best slogans they heard. I'm like, alrighty then. Surprise for me. But, you know. So, then it's like, and being in that 3rd and 4th grade class, I mean, like I said, Mrs. Hanson made me do all the classwork for both grades. I was having to do the spelling, the reading, because we had like the reading comprehension stuff. So we had like little cards that had like short stories and stuff, and then we had to answer questions and all that stuff. And so I had to do all of that. I had to do all of the spelling, all of the math. And it's like, I fucked myself over. Because if I had just kind of played dumb and only did my own damn spelling words, I wouldn't have doubled my fucking classwork. Of course, then when I got to 4th grade, I was like, I already know all this shit. So like, well, just do it anyway. And I'm like, I don't want to just do it anyway. But of course I had to, because, you know, basically it didn't count. So like, god damn it. Even though I was graded on it. I think that's what irked me the worst, is because, I mean, she graded me on it just like she would anybody else. So it's just like, and it was like she kind of held me to a higher standard than other kids in the class. Again, because, you know, I screwed myself. But like I said, yeah, she was one of my favorite teachers because she knew I could do it, and she pushed me to do it. And she pushed me to keep on doing it. And, you know, it's like, she didn't give a shit if I was like, I don't want to do it, or I don't feel like doing it, or whatever. It's like, no, you're going to do it because it's like, you wanted to be a smartass? Well, guess what, smartass? Now you have more work to do. It's like, fuck. So, and like I said, at first I was not really a fan. But, like I said, after I found out that was one of the main reasons that she did that, I liked her a lot more. I mean, I got to where I liked her anyway, because, you know, I was like, at first it was like, she's a new person. I was like, yeah, I don't like you. But then it was like, you know, I like her, you know, we started to get along. And what the fuck was that? I disarmed it. I didn't trigger it. Or did I trigger it? Hang on. Let me watch the thing real quick. Oh, it's gonna be a minute. But anyway, so that was like... Yeah, like I said, at first I didn't really get along with her. I thought she was just mean and picking on me. But now it's like, I'm glad she did. Yeah. But then it was like, at the end of the third grade year, I went to, because we'd moved again. I mean, we didn't ever move far. We'd move like, 3 or 4 blocks away from like our last place, but it was in a different school district. It's like on the very edge of a different school district. It's like, oh shit. So it's like when I was in first grade, we lived on a street called Green Street. When I was in, when we moved to second grade, or when we moved, and I was in second and third grade, we lived on a... I can't even take caps? Oh, bullshit. Hang on. Oh, no, I did trigger it. I did not disarm it. Never mind. When in second and third grade, we lived on a road called Rodney, and that was where I went to Robeson. And we literally moved like 3 blocks over, 1 block up, and that was well, no, that, I think that was also Robeson Elementary School District. Huh. No, when the hell did I go to Carrie Busey? Went to Carrie Busey 4th and 5th grade. Huh. Anyway, so 4th and 5th grade, I went to a school called Carrie Busey Elementary School. And as I said, when, oh yeah, I was checking out the weight of caps. Is it miscellaneous? No. Is it aid? It shouldn't be aid. Junk? Okay, do caps have weight? Bobby pins have no weight, so why was I not able to pick up the bobby pins? Keys have no weight. The government supply requisitions have no weight. I was not able to pick one of those up. The notes, they have no weight. So but I was not able to pick up any of the... Okay, Bethesda has borked the stuff with this latest patch, and I'm very not happy about it. How much do bobbleheads weigh? Do I have a bobblehead? No. I had a bobblehead. Where the hell did my bobblehead go? I don't know. Is it in here? No, it is not. Is that under aid? No, it is not. Huh. Okay, so do these magazines wear off? Oh yeah, they did, because it's... Wait. Plus 30% hunger and thirst cured by food and drink? What the fuck? So anyway... Oh, hang on, I gotta blow my nose. So, like I said, anyway, I went to, 4th and 5th grade. Now, you gotta remember, it's like, when I was in school, I say I had to walk to school. Okay. Champaign and Urbana, get out. And this, I'm talking to the cat again. The Champaign Urbana is in Illinois. And for those of you who don't know where Illinois is, Chicago. Chicago is on, I want to say Lake Michigan. Shit. I have forgotten geography. Anyway, Chicago is on one of the Great Lakes. And that's where they filmed Divergent. Was it Navy Pier, I think it is? Which is just outside of Chicago. If you've ever seen Shameless, that is filmed in Chicago. Chicago Hope is filmed in Chicago. What's that other one? ER, I believe, was filmed in Chicago. So, and there's a lot of stuff that's been filmed in Chicago. So anyway, oh, the fuck? Anyway, so, I mean, like I said, when I say I had to walk to school, or, I walked to school, whatever, and I had people walk with, there is, or was, I don't know, there still is, back then, parents didn't drive their kids to school. We walked to school. We may have walked with friends, but we walked to school. 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd, walked to school. Because we lived close enough, there wasn't a bus. Because the buses were only, it's like if you lived farther than 2 miles, I think. If you live further than 2 miles away, you could take the bus. which I always thought was kind of bullshit, because about 3 or 4 blocks away, not even, let's see, about 3 blocks away was an entirely different school district. So it's like, because the way the school districts are in Champaign, I mean, you have a bunch of different schools in different areas. I mean, you know, so it is, so it's like if you lived more than 2 miles away, then odds are you were in a different school district. God damn it. Well, I know where I'm coming back to. So like I said, you know, if you live more than 2 miles away, then odds are you're in a different school district. So, I mean, they did have buses, but it was very rare that anybody... Well, I mean, kids did ride the bus, but most kids walked. Oh, that hurts. Like I said, there's oh shit. Like I said, there was if you live more than 2 miles away, odds are you were in a different school district. So by that logic, again, very few people rode the bus. Usually the people that rode the bus were ones that like lived like on the outskirts of town, sort of, where the school district, where the school district, I mean, it's all part of the one school district, but the school zone, I guess you'd call it. On the backside was more I guess more farmland, because I mean, you gotta think, Illinois mostly, what used to be wide open flat farmland, or at least northern Illinois or middle Illinois, whatever you want to call it. So there would be people that lived, you know, like 2.5, 3 miles away, because, you know, that was the closest school. But they lived kind of like on the outside of town-ish. And so, you know, those ones I got to ride the school bus. But if you lived in town, you pretty much walked. Which was fine during the spring and summer, or well, spring and fall, because you weren't in school during the summer. But in the winter, I'm going to tell you, and it is not an exaggeration, when I say that I had to walk to school almost 2 miles with snow up to my balls, sometimes higher, because unlike southern states that, you know, shut everything down, you know, when there's a little dusting, yeah, they don't shut shit down for anything. it's very rare that they would shut anything down for weather. I mean, it does happen, you know, at least school. Jobs, on the other hand, no, but at least school. But my favorite thing is when I walked with friends, they had like a nature trail or bike path. Basically, it was a big sidewalk, and it went. I mean, this bike path or nature trail went beside a creek, and it followed it. I mean, the total length of it, I think, was like 10 miles, maybe. But it went through like different neighborhoods, crossed different streets, you know, and it basically went exactly beside the creek. And they planted like trees and stuff like that, so, you know. But I quickly learned that it was a shortcut to get to school. Because whereas if we followed the road, the road went, you know, straight, left turn, straight, your right turn, left turn. I mean, it was like, you know, you followed the fucking road, you followed the sidewalk. Well, this was a sidewalk that basically did its own thing through, you know, through fields and, you know, behind people's houses, between people's houses, you know, between their backyards and stuff, because, you know, the ditch separated, or the creek separated people. You know, so it was like there's people on one side, there's people on the other side. So basically, you know, we'd follow that. And it was a lot shorter. However, there was much more potential for dicking around. I mean, I guess when you get a group of kids walking to school, dickery is afoot, especially when they're mostly boys. I mean, there's a couple of girls that walked with us, and they got into about as much trouble as we ever did. Because, I mean, well, hell, half the shit we did was their idea. But when you're walking to school, there's, you know, 4 feet of snow on the ground. It is, you know, 20 degrees, 15 degrees, you know, single digits, even below zero, going to school. And you're walking beside the creek, and you're like, hey, that's fucking frozen. And you're like, hey, yeah, it is. And people are like, hey, let's take a shortcut across it. And then other people are like, hey, that's not really a good idea. It might not be frozen enough. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, sure. And, you know, you see a couple other people go across it, and you're like, okay, cool. It's, you know, it's frozen enough. No harm, you know, no big deal. All right, it's not like the creek was deep. I mean, it was like waist deep most places. There were a couple places where it was much deeper, but generally it was between like knee and waist, or even ankle and waist, depending on where you were, and not counting the deep parts. Because, I mean, most of the creek, you could, and I say this from experience, because me and my friends used to play in it all the time, you could literally walk into the center of the creek, like equal distance between banks, sit down, and it just be above, you know, like just barely above your chest. You know, it'd be like, you know, below your throat. So like shoulder, like just below your shoulders. Of course, if it rained a lot and flooded, it would get a bit deeper and faster. And that was when it was really fun to play in. However, you had to be careful. Because there were times where, depending on how much rain you got, oh hi, that, oh shit, that it got considerably deeper. Like when we lived on, so we lived on Rodney and we moved to Southwood. Well, when we were on Southwood, it was like right beside the creek. I mean, there was a little field and then it was beside the creek. So the, so well, hey, so I said the creek went like under the road. Well, under the road, I should say, there wasn't a, shit. There wasn't, fuck. It wasn't a bridge exactly. It was a big, huge, round, basically like a storm drain pipe that went under the road. Now here's the thing. It's, if you've ever seen the drain pipes, you know, they're kind of corrugated and bumpy. And the thing is, it's like under the road, it went a lot deeper into the creek than most people assumed. Because basically, it was placed down there, and then the dirt was covered across it to build the road. So there was no like extra bridge pieces or anything like that. It was basically buried and they built the road on top of it. Well, the pipe they used was so big, I mean, it was like, I'm gonna say probably 15 feet tall. Yeah, no, it was like, yeah, I mean, it was taller, because we had 12-foot ceilings in our house, and, or house or ground, well, one of the places had 12-foot ceilings anyway, and it was much higher than that. So I'm gonna say like 15 feet high. That's from the sandbar underneath, because like, you know, there's like a big sandbar that accumulated, and then the creek would like run around beside it, and so if you were careful enough, you could go down there and play on the sandbar. Oh shit, I'm almost to the top of the world. So anyway, what I was saying, you know, you get down there and play on it, and you know, we'd dig shit up, and you know, but that pipe was so massive that it didn't really even start to curve back under the creek. It was like, it looked like it was a half thing almost, a little over half. And I know it went all the way down because one time me and my friend were bored, and we were under there. We'd got like a spade and a shovel kind of shit, and decided, hey, let's, you know, dig the sand and dig a hole in the sand and see, you know, how far down it goes. So we did that, and we got over waist deep. You know, we got a big hole, about 3.5, 4 foot almost, because it was, by the time we got it was, you know, about up to our, about halfway up our chest. And we were like, huh, this is fucking deep. And then so it was like, we started to fill it in, but we started to fill it in with sand going closer to the wall. And so we got a ways over there, and then clunk, we hit the metal, and we're like, Jesus, this thing's huge. Because, I mean, you know, I'd always wondered, you know, how exactly fucking big it was. And, you know, it was one of those things. It's like I wasn't going to dig a hole by myself. I mean, honestly. So, it was probably, I'm going to say, it was like 15 from the sandbar to the top. It was probably about a 25-foot pipe diameter. No. Yeah. It was probably about a 25-foot diameter pipe. No, 30. Because I just realized, because I'm an idiot, that the diameter is the same no matter how you measure it. So you take it from a point that's known that you can get to, you measure straight across it. Me and my friend had done that. And we were like, hey, I wonder how far down it goes. Oh, facepalm. Yeah, it was 30 foot in diameter because he'd gotten his dad's tape measure because we were going to try to build something under there. We were stupid. But, yeah, so we were going to try to build something under there, and then we found out that, you know, just simply being under there was kind of trespassing. So we're like, maybe we won't build anything. Because we were going to build like a little dam. Again, not the sharpest tools in the shed. Because we wanted to... Because we were going to... we were going to play like G.I. Joes or some shit. And so we were going to build like a little dam and flood the... It was, you know... It was just dumb. And then it's like, hey, you can't, you know, my parents were like, you know, you guys you shouldn't really be playing down there, and you shouldn't really build anything down there. Because I think I'd asked about something to, you know, how I could build something or whatever, and they're like, you do realize you're trespassing by being down there, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. And they're like, yeah. They're like, if you get caught, we don't know you. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that doesn't seem legit, but okay, whatever. Yeah, my parents were, you know, they're cool and funny, but they're like, if you get busted, we don't know you. I'm like, I kind of feel like that's a false statement, but you know, okay. Because my parents they were just funny like that. You know, basically, it was like a scare tactic. I was about to burp, and that's why it came out weird. So anyway, like I said, because they were trying to, you know, scare me into, you know, not doing stupid shit, basically. Did it work? No. I mean, I'll revisit it. Oh, God damn it. It's not that I never did stupid shit. I mean, I did do some stupid shit. However, with every stupid shit that I did, I learned that, hey, that was stupid shit, do not do it again. So I'd find some other stupid shit to do. Like I said, I mean, I wasn't a kid that didn't do stupid shit. I did do stupid shit. However, I did do different stupid shit every time. So it's like my parents never had to yell at me for the same thing. So, you know, it was one of those, they're like, oh, well, at least you didn't do the same thing every time. You know, it's like, hey. Because honestly, some of the stuff I did, they were like, what the fuck? because I mean, none of it was ever really bad. I mean, none of it was necessarily good either, but you know, it's like in the stuff that they have found out about, there's stuff they still don't know about. And it's like, and I'm not going to tell them either. Ow. My throat hurts. Oh, fuck, it hurts to swallow. Feels like there's something just like a big wad of something just like stuck in the back of my throat. It's like, have you ever like taken too big a bite of like meat or something and you've chewed it and chewed it and chewed it and it doesn't ever really get any smaller and you swallow it and it kind of like stretches the shit out of your throat and it hurts. And every time you swallow for a while, it's like, it feels like it's just like there and it hurts and it's just stuck. That's kind of how it is now. It kind of hurts every time I swallow. It feels like every time I swallow, it gets like stretched out or something. Like I just swallowed a big piece of something. It's probably not a good thing, but whatever. But yeah, in a lot of the things, it's like, I'll say I was an idea man. There's a lot of shit that, you know, people did that they tried to blame on me or whatever, and I was like, I didn't do it. Like, well, your friend did it. I'm like, yeah, well, my friend may have done it. I was like, I might have had the idea, but I convinced them to do it. So some of the people didn't find that as amusing as I did. They're like, that's just as bad as doing it yourself. I'm like, no, it's not. Because I didn't actually do it. I didn't do anything. I was innocent. They're like, no, you weren't innocent. You convinced your friend to do it. I'm like, you know, how much of a friend are they really if you convince them to do, you know, bad things? I'm like, yeah, well, you know. They're my friend. It's like, I didn't force them to do anything stupid. They chose to do that on their own.
Previously owned loot for sale. Mostly blood-free.
I like that. Okay, so let me get this shit straight. We have a 600, I'm gonna say pound weight limit on the stash box. And we have a, probably 200 and something max on inventory. And with the new thing, your personal inventory, you can't say fuck it and carry more anyway. It will not let you. It's like you are over encumbered or you're at your max limit. You cannot pick anything else up. However, you can pick up power armor. You cannot pick up caps, even though they weigh nothing. Hang on, I gotta pour some more drink. In a little bit, I'm gonna have to go heat my water back up so I can have some more tea for my throat. But for right now, I'm just going to drink some Coke. No, not snort the Coke. I mean, even though at this point in my life, I might, you know, be like, I might try it eventually. I doubt it, honestly. I do not advocate doing drugs. I mean, weed is not a drug. It's a fucking plant. It's like Cat Williams says, you know, it is a plant that grows naturally. It has grown naturally for hundreds of thousands of years. And if you should happen to set it on fire, there are some things that may occur. There are some side effects. However, with other drugs, you know, it's like, you know, yeah, water, baking powder, you know, Drano, you know, it's like, I don't know the exact recipe, but, you know, there's shit you've got to do to it. And I have thought the same thing forever. And see, I can't even get shit out of my... I can't even exchange shit from my stash to my inventory to try to get anything to... God damn it. Alright, fucker, let's sell some... You better have more goddamn money. I swear to God. 200 caps. Motherfucker. Why do you not have any goddamn...
Get your raiding supplies here or don't. I don't care.
See, army helmet. I'm thirsty again. I just drank shit a little bit ago. Okay, apparently it does nothing, so sell it. Oh, if I do that.
It's dangerous to go alone. It's
I mean, people always say, like, why do you pick up all the burned books and shit?
It's
and comics and stuff. Like,
dangerous out there, so stock up here.
I'm like, they still sell for a cap each. So, and I don't like the way they do this. It's like for everything you sell.
Reminder, any attempted 5-finger discounts will be reclaimed and paid for with said fingers.
But it's like, one, how much it's worth. Like if you're not there at the
available fucking... in exchange for pillaged loot. Pillaged loot. Available in exchange for caps.
It's like what they sell the shit for versus what they buy it for. I mean, okay, let's see, what do they have? They got...
This vendor unit is equipped with anti-theft measures. Don't get any ideas, chump.
Okay, let's see, leather, no, metal, right,
Stock up here before your next kill.
Okay, just for shits and giggles. We will say...
Wanna buy some junk?
Ah, leaded painted metal chest piece. I believe I have something along those lines.
Vendor not responsible for
I got a lightweight metal chest piece. It sells for 7.
Of goods purchased.
It's okay, that's level 30. Mine is level... $40. $20.
Need some ammo,
Jesus.
chems, or
It's level 20.
bits to
it has 40 damage
with.
resistance.
You may find
Sells for
some
7.
Here.
So, the leaded painted metal chest piece sells for 13 times.
At me.
Or it costs you 13 times what they sell the other one for.
Start buying.
God damn my throat. Okay, hard hat. Yeah. Hard hat, yeah, hard hat, yeah. And so it's like you have to confirm everything. What I wish they would do would be like in Fallout 4, Fallout 3, is
the safety
you
of goods purchased.
You get what you sell what you want, and then you can buy what you want, and then the difference between the two either costs you caps or you get back in caps.
Caps available in exchange for pillaged loot. Pillaged loot. Available in exchange for caps.
So, because in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, and I think Fallout New Vegas, that was not one of my favorites. I have it, but it was not one of my favorites. You could
get your rating.
And hell, even in Skyrim, it's like you'd sell everything you had, buy stuff you wanted, and then if I'm not that sure about Fallout, but at least with Skyrim, if they didn't have enough caps or gold, or whatever currency, excuse me, then you would gain extra experience in bartering or whatever the hell it was.
Questionable means.
So your bartering or whatever the hell it is would level up because you would get experience from that. So.
Wanna buy some
junk? So what was I doing? Apparel? Yeah, but no. Aid.
It's dangerous to go alone. It's dangerous to go in groups. It's just dangerous out there. So stock up here.
But anyway, I wish you'd just shut up, bot. I said you could like buy what you wanted, or well, you select what you wanted, select what you had to trade, and then whichever way was cheaper, it would either buy the pills or whatever pills. Jesus. I looked over and I saw one of my pill bottles. Anyway, you could sell all your junk and stuff, and then it's like you could buy stuff to make it where either you didn't have to pay anything and they didn't have to pay anything, or it's like if they ran out of caps, then you could adjust it to where you could buy more of their shit, and either where you had to pay them more, or it was just a
previously owned loot for sale.
It was just like a zero-sum transaction. You got rid of shit, you got shit, you exchanged your shit basically, and that solved the problem of people running out of money all the time. Plus, not only that, you could invest in a business or shop or whatever, and then they had more money to buy shit. And it was like a permanent upgrade. It was like they always had the same amount of money to work with. So, yeah, I wish they did that in this one. Also, it makes it so much easier because you select all your stuff that you want to get rid of, and then you can select the stuff you wanted to buy, and then go from there. It's like, how much you give me? Oh, okay, well, it's like, no, I don't want to do this after all. Or then be like, hell yeah, get rid of this shit.
Note to the gourmands. Human flesh is not acceptable tender here.
What to do? We got 176.
Reminder, any attempted 5-finger discounts will be reclaimed and paid for with said fingers.
Do I need to get rid of any of the other apparel? I mean, I do. Not that one. Well, maybe that one. No, I can scrap all that. And what really irks me is that you can't even, when you scrap like the apparel, you don't get anything. You just lose it basically.
Haul it back yourself. Sell it here.
Campaign hats, dirty armor helmets, fisherman's hats.
Stock up here before your next kill.
Yeah.
Wanna buy some junk?
I kind of want to get rid of that, but I kind of don't.
Caps available in exchange for pillaged loot. Pillaged loot. Available in exchange for caps.
Yeah. Wait, how much more money does we have? It's 168. I think we can regret that.
It's dangerous to go alone. It's dangerous to go in groups. It's just dangerous out there. So stock up here.
No, that's a pipe rifle. I don't do pipe rifles. Ooh. War drum, huh? 110 though. I mean...
You looking at me? How about you
Yeah, I
stop
don't do that.
looking and start buying?
I just don't know what to do. Because I need to try to get rid of some of this shit.
Hard day
But there's
of
not
killing and looting.
any way to get rid of
Don't
it.
want to haul it back yourself? Sell it here.
Harpoon gun. Do I...
Now in stock. Goods acquired through questionable means.
Fuck, I don't know. Okay. Oh. Adjust here. Because I want...
Previously owned loot for sale. Mostly blood-free. Reminder, any attempted 5-finger discounts will be reclaimed and paid for with said fingers.
But we didn't have anything that you trained.
Can't sing as a brother.
Vendor not responsible for your safety or the safety of goods purchased. This vendor unit is equipped with anti-theft measures. Don't get any ideas, chump. Need some ammo, chems, or spiky bits to stab people with? You may find some here. Get your raiding supplies here, or don't. I don't care. Note to the gourmands. Human flesh is not acceptable tinder here.
Well, I said I was back and now I gotta sneeze.
Up. Just kidding. Want to buy or sell?
Okay, now I think I'm back. Maybe. Let's say I sneeze again.
Please don't stab other customers while they shop.
Well, that's a good idea. Good claim. Wait, why did that? No, I don't want to place the camp. Jesus Christ.
Get your raiding supplies here.
I really have got to try to get rid of
don't.
some more shit.
I don't care.
Because...
This vendor unit is equipped with anti-theft measures. Don't get any ideas, chump.
You sell that.
Previously owned loot for sale. Mostly blood-free.
I guess I'll sell that.
Tabs available in exchange for pillaged loot. Pillaged loot. Available in exchange for caps.
Damage. Rate of fire.
Need some ammo, chems, or spiky bits to stab
Fuck is
people with?
RNG?
You may find some here.
ACC. Accuracy. Oh, RNG range. And value. And weight. And how about level?
Wanna buy some junk?
Ooh.
Note to the gourmands. Human flesh is not acceptable tinder here. Vendor not responsible for your safety or the safety of goods purchased. now in stock. Goods acquired through questionable means. It's dangerous to go alone. It's dangerous to go in groups. It's just dangerous out there. So stock up here.
I don't know what to do. Okay, well, I guess some of the low-level shit that's like special, I'm just gonna sell because I can't do shit else with it.
Stock up here before your next kill. Reminder, any attempted 5-finger discounts will be reclaimed and paid for with said fingers. Had a hard day of killing and looting. Don't want to haul it back yourself? Sell it here.
I don't know what to get rid of. I gotta repair that.
Looking at me? How about you stop looking and start buying?
Ooh. Alright, sell some apparel.
Stick up,
That one sell.
Just kidding. Want to buy or sell?
Alright, level 50, level 50. On the right leg, that's level 10.
Please don't stab other customers while they shop. This vendor unit is equipped with anti-theft measures. Don't get any ideas, chump.
Sell a swimsuit. Sell the surveyor outfit. Sell the tattered rags.
Had a hard day of killing and looting. Don't want to haul it back yourself? Sell it here.
Leg skirts. Right to right leg. Yeah, that's all we're gonna do. Oh wait, there's 2 left arms.
Need some ammo, chems, or spiky bits to stab people with? You may find some here.
Oh, steelworker hats, we can get rid of those. I need to fix that.
Reminder, any attempted 5-finger discounts will be reclaimed and paid for with said fingers.
Oh, that hurts. Yeah, the padded blue jacket.
Get your raiding supplies here, or don't I don't care.
Turn the wood left arm.
Please don't stab other customers while they shop.
How about you? Can I stab you? I don't know what to get rid of. Aid. Everything is about to spoil.
Now in stock. Goods acquired through questionable means.
No.
Stick up. Just kidding. Want to buy or sell?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to sell. God damn it.
Wanna buy some junk?
Because I don't want to sell my juice. Or really the brew. I guess I just sell the blood bug steaks. Because I don't plan on...
Caps available in exchange for pillaged loot. Pillaged loot. Available in exchange for caps. Previously owned loot for sale. Mostly blood-free.
Oh, for shit's sake.
Vendor not responsible for your safety or the safety of goods purchased.
Well, I mean, that doesn't weigh that much. I mean, it all adds up, I guess.
Stock up here before your next kill.
Oh, I know.
Note to the gourmands. Human flesh is not acceptable tender here.
Hey, where's the fucking stealing shit? And I had a bunch of...
Dangerous to go alone.
I had a bunch of fucking
It's
bulk shit,
dangerous
too.
to go in groups. It's just dangerous out
So
there.
I've lost a lot of stuff,
so
then.
stock up here.
God damn it. Do I want to get rid of this mod? No. Okay. See if I can repair anything. Wait, did I scrap shit? No, I didn't. Ow. I'm not comfortable. Alright, well. God damn it. Let's go look at the map. Alright, swing top station. Sorry, been found. Afton found. Morgantown found. God damn it, get on there. Sutton Station. Charles. Oh, we've got all the pins. So now all that's left is... Ooh. I forgot about these. Pretty good out the other fucking door. That's what I was looking at. God, I'm stuck. God damn it. Alright, so we have found the top of the world train station. We're gonna come over here and find the top of the world. There. But it's almost 2:15 in the morning, so... And I've been going for 3.5 hours almost. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and call this stream here. I want to thank you all for watching so very much. If you've been talking to me, I appreciate that as well. And oh goodness, oh, I was gonna check out these trailers first. Although I don't know why, because I can't pick any goddamn thing up, which is stupid. Need another drink. Nope, I cannot craft anything. is not what we're looking for. Alright, we'll check the other one, see what's in it. Probably nothing. Let me pick it up. Dang it. Okay, so there's nothing in those. Yeah, we'll just hop in here while we check out. So, I do believe I'm going to call this stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the notification bell so you don't miss any streams. Also, please make sure you subscribe on YouTube because I am less than 5 away from being able to get a custom URL. I'm about 20 away from on Twitch from being able to get a custom URL and or I can apply for affiliate. So that's gonna be interesting and fun because then I can do like sub emotes and all kinds of other fun stuff. And then people can actually, subscribe and, support the channel if they want. Also, since we're following and stuff, make sure you follow me over on Twitter because I'm horrible at social media. I have a Discord too, you can join that if you'd like. But the Twitter is set up at least to auto-notify every time I go live. So at the very least, you'll get a Twitter notification because I have come to not rely on the notifications from Chrome or anything else because most of the time I don't get the notifications until either whatever's going on has, it's already started, it's been going on for a little bit, or my favorites are when there's been a couple of times I haven't gotten them. It was like 2 days later I got one. I'm like, all right, they're live, they're doing something. I go back and look at it. It's like, oh, it streamed 2 days ago, or whatever. Or I completely missed the stream, and it's like, well, what the hell? So, again, with all that being said, also, if you have not tried Rogue Energy, I highly recommend you do so, because now is a good time to do it. If you go to therogueenergy.com, or you can follow my link. It's an affiliate link. And it's shortened. You can follow that from YouTube. You go down below the video, and it's there. I think there's one also on Twitch and maybe Mixer. But if you'll follow that link, or you can just go to therogueenergy.com, check out what they've got right now. They have some shakers on sale. With a 5-pack of how do they call it? A multi-flavor 5-pack, which generally has, or has had in the past. It's got the original 5 flavors, as long as, while supplies last, I guess, because somebody said they were out of blue raspberry, I think it was, and they had to wait till they got some more in. But anyway, it comes with a single serve pack of each of the original 5 flavors, which are blue raspberry, pink lemonade, berry pomegranate, peach iced tea, and my favorite, pineapple mango. And right now they're on sale for $11.99 plus shipping. I don't know how long the sale lasts, so. But they have, you can choose your shaker. They have the Stormtrooper shaker and the Loot shaker. I think it's like Loot Crate shaker or whatever. And it's orange. It looks kind of, I think it's more like a dreamsicle. But they have the Stormtrooper, which is white with black lettering and a little black cap on top. And it's pretty cool. But like I said, you know, if you've never tried it before, or even if you have and you need another shaker, it's perfect time to get one. Because, I mean, the shakers are $10. But if you get the starter kit, you get 5 packs of, like 5 single serve packs of, you know, the Rogue Energy, for basically $2 currently while it's on sale. So, you know, but like I said, when you go to the store, you go to therogueenergy.com, check out the store, check out the stuff they've got, buy what you want, and then at checkout, use the code JamesGamesOfficial, it's all one word, and you'll get 10% off your entire order. So, that's the thing. So, with all that being said, again, I'm gonna go inside here. I really do greatly appreciate everybody that's stopped by, everybody that's chatted, everybody's just kind of hung out, whether you chatted or not. Just being here, you know, watching the stream is awesome, and I do, like I said, I do greatly appreciate it. Super much big preach. And I hope you guys will come back for the next one. It should be Saturday night, and as long as I don't take another nap and I can get some regular sleep, and you know my alarms go off and I don't hear them, then I hope to start streaming. Today's Saturday. I want to try to start streaming around 7 o'clock Central. I don't know how well that's going to work, but that's what I'm going to shoot for. I may be early, I may be, I'll probably be late. But again, if you follow me on Twitter and also Twitch, because their notifications are on point and they will email you. But if you follow me over on Twitch and Twitter, Twitter, it'll pop up. It'll let you know when I go live, because I have it set for auto notify. The Discord, it won't. I have to go do that manually, which, I mean, honestly, I'm bad at, because I don't get on Discord a whole lot. I try to, but most of the time I kind of forget it's there. I'm horrible about that, but I'm trying to get a little bit better on Twitter. Baby steps, I guess. So anyway, again, I do greatly appreciate everybody come out to watch the stream, hang out for a while, whether you chatted or not. Just being here, you know, is awesome. I hope you guys did enjoy it. And like I said, you know, be sure you come back for the next one. And where'd it go? Oh, great. Well, anyway, again, thank you everybody so much for coming out, so much for hanging out. Thanks for watching, whether you're watching, you know, live or afterwards. I do greatly appreciate it. And, you know, it's just, I do this for you guys. I mean, I'm playing games anyway, so it's like, what else am I gonna do? And I know sometimes I go on off like on a weird thing, but in fact, I never did actually finish the original story I was that I was going after. But okay, fine. Well, whatever. Maybe next stream we'll get around to that. Anyway, you know, I just say thank you all so very much for watching. I love you all, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.